Hey guys, Dave here with Nerdarchy, 4 Nerds by Nerds, hanging out with the Nerdarchy crew. What's up, guys?
Hey, Ryan.
I'm Ted.
I'm Nate.
So we had a viewer request from Ferbs178 who wanted to know about using a good dragon, or metallic dragon, I should say, as an enemy or villain.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting idea. Go for it.
I think your players will like it.
So no, but the first misspeaking you said is good dragon, and you corrected yourself to metallic. That's the first thing. Like, just because it's typically a good dragon doesn't necessarily have to be.
Yeah, the metallics are perceived as good, but which you can use actually in building your evil dragon, because your players will assume if it's a gold dragon, he's good.
Yeah, it's the perfect disguise. You letting them their metagaming work against them. Yeah,
I would absolutely So I would like to use that villain over a series, as opposed to one mission, one quest, one adventure, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something you want to build up to.
And I would you could probably even do things like have them doing errands for the dragon,
assembling this evil artifact, right?
Yeah, the call Cthulhu into the world artifact.
Yeah,
nice.
That he can then use against them.
Okay.
So the way I kind of thought it was is looking at, well, how do you go about doing it? And the perceived idea is, yes, it's a good dragon. So how do you make a good dragon a bad guy? So the first, thing
if you're going the route that he is in fact good.
So if you want to say, well, no, he's actually evil, and let the players be misled by their metadata,
their assumptions.
That's great. But there's also ways to have your good NPC be a villain by other means.
Well, circumstance.
Number one, something could be stolen from him.
Like it's
eggs.
Well, it could be a she, and it could be her egg,
right,
or whatever.
So if you have some vile necromancer.
Well, wait, let's stop right there, right? If you're going to basically go back to the Dragonlance series, and basically the evil dragons were working,
the Draconians,
working with the Dragon High Lords, and the way that they got the good dragons to stay out of the fight was to steal all their eggs.
Yeah.
And they were double crossed them anyway, because then they did turn the eggs into Draconians.
Right.
But so essentially that wasn't the good dragons as an enemy, but leverage was applied to them to keep them out of the fight and keep them from doing what would be in their nature to normally do.
Right.
So you can take that same exact principle and turn it around, and you could have someone using that kind of leverage against a single dragon to make it do things that aren't normally in its nature, hence making it the bad guy.
Right. The other thing that is possible is manipulation. Beyond just something's been taken from him, magical control, either through an artifact
or madness,
a more powerful spellcaster, or madness. So therefore, it's doing something against its nature, and something else is causing it, either some kind of disease, an evil spellcaster, or some kind of artifact that it's had in its hoard that's been influencing it over a millennia.
Or
another dragon.
It could be possessed.
Yeah, or it could possession. Well, first I would like to say, possession or madness. Like, the thing is, its nature actually is good, but there's a circumstance. So now the PCs are in a position, if they want to do the most goodly thing, would be to try to bring the dragon in, subdue it, and figure out how to fix what's wrong.
Right.
But you have to subdue a dragon. So
and notice the really fun thing about that with possession now is, after you do that and you get rid of the thing that could possess a dragon,
it now can possess the PC.
You still have that thing that can possess a dragon to deal with.
Well, I mean, on
like a demonic shadow or some kind of
with the possession, with the artifact, or with some other kind of outside magical force. In each of those, there's something else to contend with. It's like, all right, well, you got the artifact. Well, now you've got.
Now all of a sudden you're trekking into Mordor with some stupid halflings, and you got to throw it into a volcano.
You got to go on the quest first to figure out how to destroy it. Then you got to quest into Mordor.
Well, it's ravaging the countryside the whole way.
Yeah.
With a spellcaster, you got to hunt them down and put them down. And if it's powerful enough to have magically control a dragon,
right? He's probably a lich.
Probably a lich.
I didn't want to automatically go lich.
Draco lich?
Yeah.
So there's lots of different options for could it be evil? Could it be good?
I would say a major circumstance to contend with is you have the lawful good or good nature of the general populace of those types of dragons, but what's good to them? Are they good? Or it's kind of like with the Thri-kreen, they're lawful good to their clutch, but everybody else is kind of up in the air, like what their alignment is. So are they lawful good in general from a human's perspective? Because let's say humans come in, mess up their land, and start destroying what they like or encroaching on their territory. And I'm like, well, I'm going to show you who's boss by slapping a few of you around. And if you attack me, well, then I'm going to attack you back, kind of thing. Like to get you trying to.
It's like an escalating gang war. Basically.
Yeah, and then eventually the metallic dragon's like, these bastard evil humans are destroying my lair and area, and I'm getting rid of these guys. And it's kind of like some old kind of like feud at that point.
Or even too like.
And then those. And let's say that the humans are actually evil, or evil in nature, or they're doing something that druids and other people wouldn't like.
Well, the person actually had the comment. He said, aside from an evil party.
Oh no, I'm not saying the party. I'm saying the circumstance arises.
Well, they walk in and we're being terrorized by a dragon.
We're being terrorized by this dragon.
But we're slashing and burning all
we want to do is live in this area
and deforest the land
and do exactly what we want with our property, like that kind of like a property war in a sense. So I would say the dragon while it might be in the right, it may be killing humans.
Yeah. And also too, when something has such a grand
or elves or whatever
grand scope, like something that lives for centuries and centuries and centuries.
We're ants.
Yeah, so what's the lawful good thing to do might be kind of terrible in the long scope, but you can't fathom its machinations of why it needs to do this thing. So it's such a long view thing that has to happen. Maybe it's prophecy.
I was just about to say that. What about a dragon that's been around for a while? If it's got enough magic and it's prophesized something, it's like, well, somewhere in this village in the
end of the world resides
some dark villain is going to be born. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to wipe out this town.
It'll never exist.
That person won't exist.
Yeah, this kid that was supposed to become Darth Vader, basically. He's like, I'm going to take out Anakin when he's a little kid before the prequels can be made because they were terrible. So I'm just,
Bazing.
So therefore, let's level the town.
No more talking about killing the younglings and the women.
They're just humans. They breed like rabbits anyway.
There'll be more of them, and
it's like agriculture. When you burn the forest down, it grows back stronger, right? So same thing with humans, I think.
So that's loads of options.
So there's an issue with scope of understanding and where, can you see the horizon that I can see? What's coming around the bend. That this dragon might be doing something that's very beneficial for the world in general, but might not be good for the village that might be going away.
So can we break this down into categories?
I would say difference of perspective. The dragon is actually evil.
It goes against type.
It goes against type, or manipulation.
Outside influence.
Outside influence, but then we also have, I guess
being on the wrong side of the fight. You could also include that kind of.
Well, that's probably circumstances.
Okay,
so I think there's another category, and that's where something outside influence that's putting leverage on it compared to something that's controlling it.
Okay.
I think
it gets to make the choice, but it really doesn't have a choice as far as it's concerned.
Yeah, right. Like the Dragonlance thing. It's, somebody's got a clutch of its eggs, and they're holding them over the frying pan. You know what I mean? So
or just big pointy objects to stab them.
But I think it's different enough from possession or mind control and artifact that's worth noting.
Right. Its free will isn't being taken away, but it's still being
choosing. It's choosing to do what it doesn't want to do.
Yeah. And from the adventure standpoint, it creates a completely different set of parameters for removing the dragon as a threat.
Right.
Where if you can get back the eggs, then all of a sudden everyone can have peace and love again.
Yeah. Well, and also too, you could do a thing. It probably falls under one of those categories, but it's just another possible plot thread. Maybe this dragon is the guardian of an item that the party absolutely needs to accomplish some sort of agenda. but it won't trust like mere mortals to hold on to it. It's like, no, you're humans, you're gonna F things up, you're not getting this thing. So like they have to go through him. He's like the Black Knight guarding the bridge. Like
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that's actually definitely that's.
A whole other bag of tricks.
Yeah, I think that's a completely separate circumstances because literally it's got the thing and it says no, I'm not giving it to you, and for whatever reasons the players have it in their mind that they absolutely have
they
to have
need
it.
to have that thing. And
Yeah, and so there's only a conflict in this circumstances because the PCs have decided there has to be.
yeah, right.
And the dragon's just like, well, we're going to throw it down.
Yeah, over my dead body is literally the only way you're getting.
He's like, over your dead body.
Get out of my
It's the only
cold
way
dead
this is
hands.
happening.
I mean, you know, do you want to be cremated or cremated? Is
Yeah.
really your options here.
So that adds a fifth, and
So-
I think that's a pretty thorough overview of how that could go down.
Agreed.
If you guys disagree with what we have, or you have some other suggestions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. While you're doing that, click like, share, subscribe.
Check us out on nerdarchy.com.
Or over on Facebook as Nerdarchy if you search us out there.
You can also join the conversation on Reddit.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.